Ganica was having a bad night, so my chair is just making some funky sounds. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Friday Night Live, where we take your rock questions. We're going to start looking at the week that we've just had. We're just going to start looking at some of the things that we've been covering when we do Friday Night Live. It's a good way to. We're going to kind of make it into sort of what happened this week in rock and roll, or else what and or what we've reported this week. So I hope that's okay with you guys. So I'm gonna move some icons here, go all crazy, and see what we got. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can bring this on here. Kim Trickle. Hi, Kim. How are you? Nice to have you on here. It's very nice of you to support us. We never say this enough, but we do. You know, it's kind of nice when you do some work. Hi from Melody. Hi. I'm going to move some icons here so I can actually work. Hold on a second here. I always come on and I'm not prepared. What the heck? There we go. So Melody, hello. Kim, you're doing fine. I'm glad you're doing okay. Maria Day. Sorry, my brain. Hello, Maria. Bloomington Thunderwood. Good evening. Soul Food Music 100. Good evening, John. Irene Brophy. Hi, John. Guy Williams. That's what your username says. Guy. Hi, Guy. How are you, man? How's everybody? Is anybody getting that nor'easter? Wow, we're in for some fun. We're in for some fun snow times coming up. I wonder if I can turn this down. It's crazy. These lights, they show every imperfection you have in your face. And I have a few, so there you go. So Guy Williams, Believing Rebel, hello, from soon to be freezing my ass off in Carolina. John Adams, hello. Glenn Yoklin, single malt scotch a night. Yeah, I think for me too. Elfton, greetings. Barry Bowman, hey. Paul Evans, hello from snowy Louisville. Paul Harris. Hi, John. Thanks for the Elton update. Well, I had to get it up as fast as I could. I saw it there and I went, Chase usually goes in and edits the videos. And from there, by the way, is my mic working or are you hearing echoey voice? I put my mic on at the last minute. I think it should still be working. The Davey Johnstone interview was a highlight of my broadcasting career. And I told him man to man at the end of the interview, I said, man to man, this means a lot to me. And I could tell he was affected by it. And at the end, he said, John, you're very good at interviewing. It was really nice coming from him. He said, you come incredibly prepared. He says, you obviously know an awful lot about Elton and my career. And he says, that makes it like a conversation. You know, he says, you apologize when you asked me for the generic sound quote. Because I said, you have to talk about Saturday Night All Right for Fighting. And I love the story you tell. I know you've told it a million times, but I don't own those clips. He says, oh, I never thought of it that way. So I need you to tell me so I have stuff like that. Josh, hold on. Yeah, Maria said, did I change my name? Paul Harris, I got yours. Sassy T. Aloha from Hawaii. Hey, hi. Josh Simon, evening. How are you? Feeling good today. I have to admit, I felt a little nervous talking to Davey today. I don't usually, and you've heard me say this before, I don't usually get nervous with interviews because Ian Anderson was this week. We've had a few good interviews this week. Dominic Triano, who's known as one of the greatest guitarists of all time, joined the Guess Who for the last 2 albums. Let me just see if I can move this here without the phone falling down. Don't fall down, phone. I interviewed his brother and another gentleman who wrote a book on Dominic. Those last 2 Guess Who albums I really like. Some people thought they were a little too jazzy. James Bashir, hello. Hi, James. Thank you. Welcome back. Gedin Minas, I can't say the rest of the names. Sorry. Greetings from Omaha. Guy Williams, morning. Moving to Tennessee. Brad Paisley contacted me. Going to try writing again. Really? Wow. That's awesome. Irene Brophy, fine here. Paul Hudson, hello, John, from Newcastle, UK. I was raised in a place called Newcastle in Northeast New Brunswick. It's spelled exactly the same. Actually, the Queen visited us in the 1970s. It's now called Miramichi. Pat Michaels, greetings from Sioux Falls. Christopher 628, hi John. Man, there's so many of you on here. That's touching. Boomington Thunderwood, testament to your interview skills. Good on you. Thank you. You don't always hear that. You know, it's nice when you're interviewing someone that you respect an awful lot, and they notice that you've done a lot of research. But one thing you try to do in an interview, and as I was watching interviews with Davey Johnstone online, I noticed a lot of people going, yeah, yeah, oh, that's right. And people sometimes complain that I talk too much, but I talk before the question. And when the artist is talking, you have to shut up. You have to, and a few people who were interviewing Davey were like, you can't use that clip for anything else. If you had to use if someone wanted to buy your interviews, at the end of it, they go, you talking too much through it. I can't take you out. You're overlapping on the artist. And when I interrupt someone, I'll always say, sorry for interrupting. They're always usually okay about it. Only one time did I interrupt someone and they gave me that look. Like I thought, oh, maybe I'm talking too much. Elftone, great interview with Davey. Thank you. The whole thing's an hour long, so we're going to put it on this weekend or maybe Monday at the latest. We're going to put it up. It's in its entirety on Rock History Book. If you haven't subscribed to Rock History Book and you want our interviews in their entirety, go into Rock History Book. This is Rock History Music. I know it's confusing. I should have put it all on one channel, but I didn't. So anytime we have a new interview, we're going to put the entire thing on Rock History Book the same time we put the first clip on Rock History Music, this channel. Rock History Music will always tell you exactly what's in the clip. And there's some juicy stuff on here. I asked them the difference between, I said, well, how did it feel joining as a part-time member or sort of a fill-in on Mad Men Across the Water going into Honky Chateau, which was a very different album. And that's when the Elton that we knew in the 70s started shaping a lot more. Yeah, and then Don't Shoot Me, and then of course Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And I told him, I says, to me, Don't Shoot Me was an album. It's not my favorite, but every song on the album sounded like a hit single. Shannon's Surf Boy. Shannon's not feeling good tonight. No, she doesn't have COVID. I know you didn't ask that, but she's just not feeling good. She just gave Danica a bath, who's been having a really bad night. The thing about Danica is she never leaves Shannon alone. If she's having a bad night, she doesn't go after me because I ignore bad behavior. And Shannon just wants to be a good mom. And so she just torments Shannon. Surf Boy, hello, John, and all from Boston. I'm waiting for a blizzard. A little nervous. I know we heard it. We're getting that nor'easter as well, the same one. It's coming up because I'm just above you. I'm in New Brunswick, right? So I'm just above Maine. Well, on the side of that. Maria Day, is Shannon working? Nope, she just took the night off. Great interview with Davey. I've got that. Star Grooves, Ireland. Hey, John. Hello. Irene Brophy. Wow, sounds like an awesome guy. He was such a gentleman. It was really nice, and I didn't want to take too much of his time. By the way, at the end of the interview, we're talking about Ray Cooper. He brings Ray Cooper up, who's a percussionist for Elton John. And I said, oh, by the way, let me stop you. Ray Cooper, to me, as I can only base who he is on his presence on stage, because he comes off as like an eccentric guy, larger than life guy. I mean, is that all show, or is he an eccentric guy? And he says he's definitely an eccentric guy. And he says, by the way, in a half an hour, which was a sign for me to go, okay, let him go. I'm going to go take a long walk with Ray Cooper. I went, wow, can you put him on? Can we talk to him? Anyway, Greg Biggs, howdy, John from Madison, Mississippi. Hi, how are you? Thanks for being there for us. Paul Harris was wondering if we can name a classic rock band with all original members. Aerosmith, maybe. Only one I can think of. Well, even people always say Rush, but Rush wasn't because John Rutsey was on the first album. The Stampeders, technically, I don't know if the Stampeders had melody, because the Stampeders used to be a bigger band. And I think they were called the Stampeders back then, before they became a trio. I talked to the Stampeders this week because their manager died. So I talked to two of the three of them, and they liked the video. If you go into Rock History Canada, it took me all day to do this video for their manager, Mel, and they both really liked it. And Rich Dotson, who is one of the main songwriters in that band, they all sang and they all wrote. He is not on Facebook, so I was told they're going to show it to him. So Hi, John. Will you have more with Tommy James? Big fan. I've not talked to Tommy James. I'd like to. Does anybody know him? Anybody out there know Tommy James? Tommy James and the Shondells. Um, his book's supposed to be the best book in the world. I've had a chance to off record talk to Henry Gross a few times, and Henry, on and off record, basically said that Tommy James's book about being involved with the music business and the mob is one of the greatest books he's ever read in his life. So I'd like to talk to Tommy James. I've tried. Gennaro says, greetings from Montreal. I was born in Montreal. Jean-Guy Boileau was my doctor. He brought me into the world. Did not know Sister Janet Mead passed away. That was one of our stories. 84 years old. Someone had said in the comments, by the way, that they had heard that she had gone broke and had ended her life, and that was not the case at all. Star Grooves, getting close to 100,000 subs, John. Telling my friends, please do. That is very kind of you. It's slowed down in the last little while. It goes like this. And so many of my YouTube friends who do similar things to what I do, they say this happens sometimes. You go through, usually we'll get between 1,000 and 3,000 subscribers a month. And, but sometimes it goes down to like 500. We never go lower than 500 in a month for subscribers. The channel's just too big. We have too much content. Maria says Shannon deserves a rest. She's a good mom. She really is. John says, not to change subject, what's going on with the band Chicago members leaving? Melody, Mel Shaw died. Stampeder's manager. I don't know. I've reached out to Neil Donnell, their current tenor lead singer, and I talk to Neil now and then. I think he's a really good guy. He's a talented man. And I asked him, I says, listen, who's the gatekeeper for Chicago? And can I interview Robert Lamb? I'd like to interview. I've always wanted to talk to Robert Lamb and James Pankow, Jimmy Pankow. I'd like to talk to him, but first. Okay, Robert Ryan. Hi, John. I'm in Clydebank. Do you know what? Scotland here. Love Toto. Love the channel. Sad to learn that Pat King of Manfred Mann died this week. Yeah, I got that too late. Surf Boy, Aerosmith has been original, which makes them a rarity in rock and roll. Really, really does. James McKinley, John, the last three members of the Faces supposedly had just recorded an album. Any knowledge of this album might be released? I don't know. I really don't know. Irene Brophy, Kiss. I'd have to look that up. We were going to do a thing on bands with original members. I remember last year, and we had trouble coming up with any. So I don't remember if Aerosmith was one of those, probably. Star Grooves, Ireland. Bobby Whitlock would be a good interview. He has a great channel. Always looking for people to interview. And like I said, we're starting to get more aggressive now to find people to interview. I was really aggressive with Davey Johnstone, but Davey had to tour with Elton. And since the tour was, it was nice because right away they called me right away. As soon as the Elton tour was postponed for a few shows, Davey Johnstone's people said, hey, he's got some room. We'd love to have him on your channel. And I went, thanks so much. And he was on time, and he was just a gentleman. Mark 187, The Fix is still intact and original members as far as I know. Oh, I'll look that up. The Green Bird, well, big band music ever come back? You know what? You never, with this music, with the music business now, you just never know. And one of the stories we covered this week is the music industry. And I like to come on live because as a broadcaster, I'm really accustomed to coming on live. It's just an easy thing for me to do. It's not hard. So we did a thing on old music is selling 70% better than new music. That was a story from 3 days ago. And the same thing is going on with streaming platforms, not selling, but streaming downloads and all that stuff. So that says something. And one of the people from the magazine I quoted said that it's maybe because people are longing for melody. And there's one genre in particular they pointed out, not me, them, that rap music is not known for melody, of course. And people are longing, looking at the things that they're downloading and buying, they're missing melody. But that's a good thing in some way. I'm going, phrasing, good old-fashioned phrasing in songs. Okay. Stephen Ray says Adele cancels Las Vegas shows. Yeah, and it turns out it wasn't for the reasons she said. As far as I know, it was because she didn't like the big fake pool that they had on the show. But and it came from a pretty good source. Spacey says, if the fates allow, I'll be looking forward to seeing Asia once again. But I sure wish Hal would be on the bill. Everyone is saying the same thing. I hear you, man. Swede Savage, John, take your take on bands using backing tracks. I don't really have a problem with it. To me, I want it to sound good. If they cheat a little bit, and trust me, a lot of bands have cheated through the years. If it's, I'd rather it, if the bulk of it is live, I'm okay with it. What do you think, Swede? Robert Ryan meant Wet, Wet, Wet. Okay, that's what I thought. Was a popular band in the 90s, but more poppy perhaps. Well, we do pop stuff here. It's called Rock History Music, but we basically cover anything that's been successful in not only classic rock, but pop as well. I mean, rock is just a generic term that people, so, but don't get me wrong, the rock stuff does do better on our channel than the pop stuff does. Boomington, ever get an opportunity to interview Peter Beckett, main writer, guitarist? Yes, he's on our channel already. If you look it up, I've talked to him already. Yes, he was in Little River Band. He told me some good stories about hanging out in Liverpool. Greg Biggs, probably be really hard, but Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page interviews. I wouldn't interview Eric Clapton now. I think just something's not right with Eric Clapton. I don't know what's going on. Teddy Bates, Adele is overrated. She's basically put out the same album 4 times. A lot of her stuff does have a similar sound. You're right. Maria Day. Be nice to hear from Steve Perry. I've tried. We don't try really hard. There's an artist right now that we're getting the runaround from, his management company. And it's I'm not going to say who it is, but it's very frustrating. But you never know what's going on in someone's life. Paul Moog? I'm not sure how to say it. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. I would love to see the James Gang do another tour. Joe Walsh, Jimmy Fox, Dale Peters. When we were doing the Dominic Triano memorial book interview with Frank, his brother, Dominic was one of the 2 guys who replaced Joe Walsh in the James Gang, and then Tommy Bolin, of course, replaced Dominic this week in the book. We're going to put that out on our Canadian channel next week. Alex says, is David Lee Roth sick? Well, there's some people are saying that. We don't like to start rumors because I don't know, unless someone really tells me. Someone told me a few months ago that Quincy Jones had died. Some of you might have seen that video kind of pop up in the cache. Someone told me Quincy was dead. It was a good source, a former background singer, and someone came and told me this. I made a few calls. Someone said I'd heard the same thing, and I went, "Yeah, I'm not going to release it till it's official." But because it was in the cache for whatever reason, people saw the title of it. I don't know how that happened. And it makes you look bad, because I never release anything. But it was such good sources, and I went, well, I guess he is. And now I'm not as much of in a hurry to do these things anymore. I'll go on live and talk about it. But sometimes you have to wait for a legitimate newspaper. And I know that some of you will laugh because you don't like Rolling Stone anymore, but they're usually pretty good at checking whether someone's really dead. Or else sometimes I'll have a connection with a person. You know what I mean? My phone's filming this now. Sometimes you'll just have a really good connection with a few artists. You can call and say, hey, man, I don't want to bother you, but is this true? And most people will get back to you. Surfboy is my studio, yeah. Right over here, I record a radio show for Vancouver. I can't show you because I have the flap. You put your credit cards in, and it closes like that. Then you open it up. Your credit cards are here. Your phone's here. The flap's on the other side. It's holding my phone above a screen right now. If I take it out, it's a long story. I can't do it. But one of these days, I think I've shown you before the interface of where I record my Vancouver radio show. So let's see. I got a lot of. Okay, Maria says, be nice to hear Steve Perry. Yes, Mr. Dinosaur 333. Are you a fan of the Grateful Dead or Fish? Not really, no. But I won't change the channel if the Grateful Dead are on Sirius XM. Paul, yeah, I got that. Alex Van Drummer, is, I got that as well. Stephen Ray, John Waite always bashes bad English. I didn't know that. Really? Wow. Karen Phillips, Steve Perry says he's working on new music. I'm glad. Surf Boy, I'm in my studio. Yes, it is soundproofed. Jeff Bond, I was just about to ask what the chances of Player getting back together are. Well, Peter uses the name Player. I got the interview through his wife. His wife one day, uh, said something about one of my videos. It was really nice. You do a lot of work. You're professional. And I said, hey man, I want to talk to Peter. And she said, consider it done. And we had to cancel a few times, but he got on. He's such a good interview. You know what Peter Beckett says? He's had a lot of sports cars. His favorite car, I think he said, was either his Dodge Ram or a Jeep. Of all the cars, sports cars, because he's indulged himself, he just said, no, that's what he likes. Greg says, are the Gin Blossoms all still together? I have no idea. I've not thought of them for a long time. Quarantined Dragon fan Tim, whoa. Rock History Music, who do you think will replace Lou Pardini? No, Bill Champlin will never join Chicago again. I've asked him a few times. No. I mean, it'd be nice if they made up, but I don't think. I've interviewed Bill a few times, and I've got a lot of connections with Bill. We have a lot of mutual friends, but I don't see that ever happening. Lou Pardini has a great sort of smooth, jazzy West Coast album that he released a few years ago. Man, it's great. It's just amazing. And his brother was part of doing that documentary. Fraser J. Hey, John, hope you are well. Any news from the new Tower Power singer? The last singer was actually let go over Instagram. I didn't know that. I've still got some of my Tower Power interview that we didn't put up. Thank you for the reminder. Oh, hold on. So much better when Shannon's here. She knows. Hold on, guys. Just bear with me. Scott Alford. John, love your show. Thank you. Appreciate that, Scott. You sound like you've had dental work done. No, I don't know. My voice sometimes at the end of the day gets really low and kind of raspy. I'm not sure why that is. Like here, you can hear it there. West Creek. Good evening, John. Hi, Wes. How you doing, buddy? Michael Bills. Happy Friday night, John. Boomington says, I paged, with Richard Shack, who was Walsh's immediate replacement in the James Gang. Chrissy Hine mentioned Shack's previous band. Oh, cool. Alex Van Drummer, what do you think about Lady Gaga? I'm not a big fan. I don't know, just something about it just doesn't resonate with me at all. The last song I played on my show was Bad Romance Tonight. I play it. I don't pick the music. I think she's very talented, but she's just not my cup of tea as far as music. I think she's very talented. Good actress too. Michael Bills, TMZ is pretty reliable. They're very careful. They're very, very careful. Yeah. Robert Slover, I heard older music is selling better than new music. We were just talking about that. You must have just come in. 70% better, by the way. We did a story on it this week. You can check it out. I just kind of came on live and talked about it. Surf Boy, I don't understand what happened with Clapton. It's rather sad. I'm not sure I don't know what happened. I mean, you know what? It's kind of normal to balk the norm in some ways, to say, I don't trust this stuff. We live in a weird world. I can understand when people, but when their whole life becomes a conspiracy theory, there's no balance in that. And I'm not saying all of Clapton's life has become that, but I don't know what's going on there. Glenda Stevenson, if Quincy Jones had died, it would be all over the news. No, I understand that, Glenda, but the thing is, this is before the family. No, he hasn't died. This is like months old. He hasn't died. I'm saying that a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago, someone had called me and said, by the way, he passed. He didn't pass. He was perfectly fine. He didn't die. But at the time, they were saying it's from somebody in their inner circle. You might want to get ready for this. And I got ready for it, and it turned out and I contacted a few musicians. One person said, John, it's not true. Trust me. And I went, no problem. Joe Tobacco, or Tobacco, I don't understand the criticism I've seen with Ian Anderson releasing an album, Jethro Tull. I just talked to Ian Anderson the day before yesterday. It's not up yet, the interview, but my son just put it together. Gennaro, will you one day interview Lucy Thomas? She turns 18 years old, February 21st. Singer is amazing. I believe she will be breathtaking artist, breakthrough artist of 2022. She has already 3 albums. I don't know who she is, but I'll look her up. A. Hernandez, what are your thoughts on Mars Volta? I don't know who that is. If it's newer rock bands, I'm not that familiar with them. But having said that, when you put it down, I'll look them up. Paul Harris, John, does Steve Lukather have a son that plays on Toto shows now? Well, he has Trev. His son's very talented. Yeah, his son's really, really talented. I interviewed him 6 months ago or something like that. MTD says, John, why do you think Canadian bands are huge in Canada and don't make it big? Well, we just did a thing on huge English bands that never crossed over to North America, and some of them were really, really big. Sometimes it just doesn't work. I don't believe in the war against kind of thought. I think that's just stupid. It's just to get hits. Maria Day, Steve always says he's working on new music. Is that right? Yeah. Well, Dead and Buried. How is Linda Ronstadt doing? You know what? We were thinking of reaching out to her to try to get an interview because she likes to talk. She likes to talk about, I never interviewed Meatloaf, no. Michael, Mr. Dinosaur, have you ever tried to get Donald Fagen? Never tried. Jeffrey Bond, have you been told you look like Robert Downey Jr.? I have. It first started in 95, before I had facial hair. But before I started getting old, he has got better hair than me. But I got it all my life after that. Not anymore, though. Surf Boy, I saw Tower of Power 3 years back. They were great. Everyone says they're great. Tame Up, I don't know how to say that. Love all rock history. Thanks for streaming. Thank you. Surf Boy, she doesn't resonate with me also, but she's talented. Yeah, are you talking about Lady Gaga? Yeah, very talented. Barry H, greetings from Richmond. What's worse for Spotify, to lose Neil Young or Barry Manilow? Well, they're not losing Barry Manilow. I think he just said that that's not going to happen. Barry H, sounds good. Fraser J, hey John, Richard Marx is actually singing backing vocals on Chicago 17. Yeah, we can stop the hurting, as well as Donny Osmond. Yeah, well, that's good to know. I'm always losing my place here. Glennis says, saw Tower Power in the 70s. I was really a big fan. Everyone says he put on a good show. Ben Patterson. Ian, I don't know what that means. Ian is Jethro Tull, okay. Karen Dinsmore, Greg Lake's wife, is dedicating Manticore to Greg's solo career. Do you know if there's an unreleased, never released material? I didn't ask the writers, the people who were putting together the book, if there was, I didn't ask Carl Palmer either, if there was. It's a good question, though. Thank you. Jeffrey Boone, is it Mike Love's fault for the Beach Boys not having Brian Wilson? Well, I'd say Mike Love's not exactly a peacemaker. Gennaro says, thanks so much for looking up Lucy Thomas. She is from the, I would look it up for you, for sure. I always go back because I usually write these things down, but I don't have a pen right now. Speaking of newish bands, the Marcus King Band, Rival Sons. I like Rival Sons. Spacey Sam. So the Toto that's touring is just Steve and Joseph. Yeah, and their backup band is amazing. I would go see them. I don't usually do that, but for Toto I would. Michael Bills. Speaking of Canadian bands, every interview Glass Tiger. Yes, I interviewed them. I was living in Edmonton at the time out west, and they were doing a photo shoot in Toronto. I was trying to sell my syndicated shows. Had a show called the Cross Canada Report. I was trying to get Coke as a sponsor. I met with them. They were really nice. I was very nervous. And we secured an interview with Glass Tiger, the entire band, even though it was basically Alan Frew, their drummer, their first drummer, I forget his name, and their guitarist. And I'm afraid to listen to the interview. It's on a reel to reel. I was just so afraid because I was 25 at the time, I think. I'd only been in radio 2 years. So I did. Kim Trickle, Trev is producing Luke's new album. Yes, along with Joseph Williams. Oh my God, this thing. It's crazy. Okay. Quarantine Dragon. It will be nice if Champlin, Cetera, Seraphin, Parazader, Chef will join together. That'll never happen. It'll be nice, I agree, but it will never happen. Matrix Spyware. Have you heard the news that Simon Phillips is playing yet another new album with Steve Lukather? Well, he's in the studio. I'm not sure how many songs he's doing, but I saw that. I just texted Simon last week. He hasn't got back to me yet. He's usually pretty slow. Surf Boy, not on drums, he's not. Said Ronstadt would be a great interview. Yeah, I got to check into her. I think she's just a wonderful person. I'm almost finished here, guys. I want to keep it short tonight. Robert Slover. I grew up with classic rock. You the man. It's really bothered me that some of the artists have put out fantasy albums but never played on the radio. The problem is classic rock stations don't play new music, and the stations that play new music are playing the Lady Gagas and Ariana Grande, unfortunately. Joe says, Ian Anderson has the right to continue as Jethro Tull. Martin Barr is touring as Martin Barr Band. Yep. Fraser J. John, is Shannon all right? She's taking that off. Oh, yeah, she's a little stressed out. She's okay. Danica's been hard on us this week. Very, very hard on us. Sassy T, speaking of Eric Clapton, have you interviewed Bobby? No, I haven't. Dwayne, hello, everyone. Hi, Dwayne. How you doing? MTD, John, I really enjoy your work. Good info without bias. Well, I'm learning to, you got to shut your trap. People don't come to my channel to get my opinions necessarily on stuff outside of music, Glenda writes, John, what's your opinion on both Neil Young and Seth? You mean Joe Rogan? Yeah, I don't listen to Joe Rogan. That's not the kind of stuff I listen to. Sir Stammy, good evening. Hi. Greg Biggs, I like Rival Sons and Ghost Hounds. You guys are giving me some good Rival Sons I like. Dwight, I'm still in quarantine, not feeling so well. Oh, is that right? Are you okay? Do you have a did you tell me you got COVID? Greg Biggs, try listening to Ghost Hounds. Thank you. Gennaro, one song from Lucy Thomas to look at. Aerosmith, I don't want to miss a thing. Okay, thanks. John Myler, did you ever interview Terry Jacks? No, but in that room over here, there's an interview with Terry Jacks. Terry's he's dealing with some health issues. Even Susan Jacks is dealing with health issues right now. Maria Day, Shannon is resting tonight. Thank you, Maria. Dwayne, I do like Rival Sons, great band. Oh God, why does it do that? This thing goes, like a whole page will go up. Boomington, thanks for stopping by this evening. Thank you. Mr. Dinosaur, is there a band or artist that you've seen that was terrible live, but great in the studio? No, I don't think so. What about you? Starry Bear, anyone would be great to interview anyone these days. All my heroes are getting up there and we're losing them. The Lost Meatloaf. Meatloaf was just a surprise to me. Quarantine. Brian Wilson in Chicago will probably do a concert this summer. Yep. Todd, you should interview Loris. Yeah, Gary Loris, leader of the Jayhawks. I'm trying to find my space here. Michael Bills, I can't find terrestrial classic rock station that plays Jethro these days. Really? They do in Canada. They certainly did in the west coast of the United States when I used to travel a lot, but that was a few years ago. So Fraser J, God bless you, John. You are doing amazing. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Dwayne says, have you heard of Jan Arden's new album? No, but I've worked with Jan quite a bit because I used to be a program director in Calgary of a radio station there. California 103, yes. We named it California 103 just to piss off everyone. Then we were going to shorten it to Cal 103, Calgary 103. But the station was debunked by then. And I did a lot of shows with Jan. Not a lot, but I interviewed her like 3, 4 times. She's a very nice lady, very funny, but everyone knows that. Dwayne, I have a second version of the Do You Know What? What? Abdul. Hey, it's Abdul. It was on FaceTime with Chase a little bit ago. Oh, Abdul. Yeah. How you doing, man? Abdul is one of Chase's guitar players. Well, or Chase was one of his. Well, anyway, they played together. Really nice guy. And he's listening to Small Creeps Day. I'm glad you. I'm glad Abdul is a great guitarist and a nice guy. Abdul, I hope you come and visit us. Hoppin, does anyone know what time it happens in Telford tomorrow? Okay. I'm talking to John Zaka, his producer, as far as Bobby Kimball, Julian, and I'll find out and I'll do a report on it. So that's it. Yes, I have it. I have Small Creeps Day on vinyl and CD. A friend of mine sent it to me from Martin Steele was his name. I remember we used to communicate together. He's from England. Okay, Steve Miller didn't impress me. I'd love to see Steve Miller. Never have. Tobin, are you surprised how popular Meatloaf was? Amazing to see the tributes. I didn't buy a lot of his albums, but you know, Bad Out of Hell was a big album. Paul Harris, Maria Day, best wishes to you and Shannon. Thank you. I'm going to wrap things up here. Starry Bear, not exactly classic rock, but try to get Big Mike Geyer. Is it Geyer? AKA Puddles Pity Party. Amazing performer. Okay. Mr. Dinosaur, who's your second favorite artist after Elton? Well, I like Bruce Hornsby a lot. Like a lot. And of course, they have a mutual admiration society and they've worked together as well. Bruce Hornsby, one of my favorite artists. Interestingly, Bruce Hornsby's 2 interviews, I interviewed him twice. The 2 interviews I put up on this site, they're right on this site, did not do very well at all. I'm doing the Batman theme. I don't know the Tantric band. Alex. Randy Collins. Hey, John, any opinion on Southern rock bands? I'm not a big Southern rock band fan. Derek Vaughn. Good to see you, John. Have you ever had contact with the Canadian prog band FM? I have. Who's the guy who wrote with Jan Arden? You guys will know. Wrote some of the Ingenue stuff with Jan Arden. He was in FM. Someone's going to give me his name. Ben Mink. I think it was Ben Mink, wasn't it? He called me years ago. We were shortening songs, Canadian content songs. I mean, you shouldn't do that, but our program director at the time was saying we're dying here. Where Canadian content is killing us, which I didn't believe because I love Canadian content. And on my evening show, I was playing, I think it was Constant Craving. I'm not sure what song he co-wrote with her, a few of them. And he called me up and he said, "What are you doing? You've ruined my song. How can you cut it short?" And I don't blame him. I wasn't mad at him. I was very calm. And he says, I co-wrote that song. So I thought, well, I think it's Ben Mink. Is it Ben Mink, guys? Anyway, and he was very mad at me. Would you interview Burton Cummings? Yes, if he'd get back to me, I would love to. Sorry if I'm reading ahead, guys. Show Night Ranger and Foghat in November. Oh, cool. Irene Brophy. Tell Shannon we miss her tonight. Yeah, I miss her tonight. Amanda Marshall. I just talked to Dean McTaggart and Christopher Ward. Dean McTaggart was the lead singer of a Canadian band called The Arrows, one of my all-time favorite 80s Canadian bands. Meet Me in the Middle, good song. Heart of the City. And I just interviewed Dean about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. We're going to put that interview on Rock History Canada. If you like Canadian music, please subscribe to Rock History Canada and please watch some of the videos. I'm surprised that channel's not really taken off. It will. They all do if you keep working on them. But check it out. And he co-wrote some songs for Amanda Marshall's first album. And Christopher Ward, who's a VJ at Much Music in Toronto, uh, co-wrote a tune or two or whatever on that album as well as Black Velvet with Amanda Marshall. So we're going to have those coming up real soon. Anyway, guys, I got to rock. I got myself a little, look at, instead of touching it with my finger, I can just go like this, boing, right there, which is a lot better. I did this today and someone said, man, your arms are really hairy. I'm going, well, they're not, I don't know. I never really thought of it, but okay. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to sit down and have a cold one and relax. I really appreciate you out there. You have no idea what it means to me. And I never say this enough that, we make our living doing this. This is our, we put it all on the line when we moved out east and decided to make this channel survive. And this channel doesn't make some money. That we're never going to get rich on the channel, but it pays the bills along as with my radio. I can't speak English, with my radio station job. So, and we all work together as a family to make this. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate that. So it means a lot to me that you come on these live feeds and talk to me, because there's no guarantees. There's a lot of choices out there, people who do this. There really is. So thank you. Love you guys so much for supporting our channel. I never, ever, ever take you for granted. Oh, hey, Blaze, I'm getting into my final wind up here before we leave. But Blaze, I read all your comments. I don't always get a chance to answer you. And that goes for everyone. So we read all the comments. Oh, Steve Oliver. I've interviewed Steve Oliver, by the way. I know Steve. I'm sure he remembers me from my short stint in smooth jazz. Well, it's not so short, but anyway, again, lots of love to you guys. Stay safe, please. And whenever something breaks, I'll come on live. When I come on live, it's behind the CDs, which are just over there. Anyway, take care of yourself, okay?